Hi, it's Jan Howell here with another 10-minute or less sewing project. These DIY hot and cold reusable therapy bags are the best. Throw them in the microwave, heat them up, and then toss them in your bed. They'll keep your feet warm all night. Or put them in the freezer for a very therapeutic ice pack. Very simple and quick to make up. These make great gifts. So without any further ado, let's get started. There's just a few items that you'll need to make your therapy bag. You'll need a 1/4 yard of fabric. I like to use flannel, muslin, or you can use any cotton fabric. If you want to download and print the pattern, which comes with 4 other different therapy bag sizes, print that out and have that handy to go over. A rotary cutter and ruler comes in handy for getting straight cuts. Fabric clips or pins, your sewing machine, and a few pins. And to fill the therapy bag, you can use either feed corn, wheat, or rice. My preference is the feed corn. It stays hot a lot longer, and you can use these therapy bags to put in the freezer for a cold pack and also put in the microwave to heat up. You're only going to need 11 inches. Most of the fabric, woven fabrics that come on a bolt, flannel and such, will come in widths of 42 to 44 inches wide. You'll be able to get 2 bags out of a 1/4 yard. I've already pre-cut this one. This is the selvage edge, the finished edge. I've already straightened this cut edge so that I have a square edge to start with. And I'll just fold this over. It makes it easier. Line up my edges. This is my selvage edge again. And I'm going to measure 11 inches and cut that. And then you want it to be 21 inches wide. Sometimes the selvaged edge will have a big section of print that you'll want to cut off because you don't want that showing in your bag. So I will cut off that white strip there. This one measures 21 inches right on the dot. If you were a little less than that, even an inch less, it's no big deal. So I'll be able to make 2 bags from just a 1/4 yard. I am planning on making a bunch of gifts, so I have cut out a bunch of different flannel pieces. As you can see, this one was a little bit smaller. It wasn't as wide on the bolt, and no big deal. So whatever you, just if it's in that ballpark area of measurement. Most of my therapy bags have a slip cover. I make a slip cover for them. This particular bag, I don't make a slip cover because it seems to add too much bulk, and I figure by the time the bag gets yucky and old, I'll just make a new one. First thing we're going to do is fold the short ends over 1/2 inch and press. Bring the short ends right side together and clip in place. And all we're going to do is sew down each side, leave this top edge open. You can either do this with a single needle machine or a serger. If you're wanting to add a cute label or tag, this is a good time to do it. Take your tag. This is a foldable tag, and I'm just going to include that in the side seam. So I'll just place that where I want it, include the seam allowance, and just pin that in place. Line up your top edges, sew down the side seams, leave this open. If you're wanting to add a cute tag in your seam, this is a foldable tag. I have a tutorial on showing you how to make your own customizable labels and tags. Make sure you check that out. I'm just going to include this in the side seam towards the bottom or wherever you want. So the raw edges on the outside, the fold here, account for the seam allowance, and fold that in half, lining up the top, and pin it in place. Line up your top folded edges. Just sew down the sides, back stitching at the beginning and the end of your seam. Leave this top edge open. I'm using a universal needle. I'm using a straight stitch, and seam allowance is just at the edge of the presser foot. Flip it over, do the other side. Trim off that tag, clip the corner. Turn it inside out. And we'll fill it with our corn. So here's just a tip if you are using grain or seed corn. Sometimes it can have, especially towards the bottom of your bucket, a lot of smaller particles, and you don't want those in your bag. So just take a strainer and strain the corn. Just give it a couple shakes. Just shake it out, and you can see all the little pieces that are going into the bucket, which we really don't want in our bag. We'll just take it to the sewing machine, and top stitch that top edge closed. And I'm just going to use a basic zigzag stitch. Clip your threads. Throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes, flip it over for another 2 minutes, and then toss it in your bed. It'll keep your feet warm all night long. You can also put them in the freezer for a cold pack. Also included in the pattern is a PDF of just a little foot bag instructions telling how to heat it in the microwave and how to care for your bag. Another simple project and gift idea. Thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next class. As always, if you have questions or concerns, send me a note or leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Have fun sewing.